It's Thursday, February 10th, 2020. Before I start this video today, and a lot to talk about, we have a lot to talk about today. Before we do, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share this video, and make sure you subscribe. Also, regarding this economy and this collapse, which people somehow don't believe is happening, I shot a couple videos out in the desert here in Southern California. And we were out feeding homeless people, feeding dogs, handing out clothes. So go back a couple videos back when we were out doing that and check those videos out. Also, Aaron Early at Texas Silver put out a video last night. I think it's imperative to watch that because he shows you if you're not putting your precious metals in a safe, if you're not keeping it in the house, he's showing you how to bury it. If you have property, how to bury it in the ground, how to prepare it, how to bury it, and how to hide it. So a really, really good video on Texas Silver last night. So check that out at Texas Silver and go back and check out my videos on this homeless epidemic and this collapsing economy. Without further ado, let's talk about what's happening right now, what's transpired today. I'm going to be all over the place, none of this really in order, but I jotted down a lot of notes I want to share with all of you. Comment down below on anything you want to talk about. Inflation surges 7.5%. on an annual basis, even more than expected. They were expecting it to come in at 7.2, and this number is completely manipulated. You know that real inflation at this point is over 15%, and it is increasing. Higher inflation is probably costing you $250 a month per average household. This is an article today on the Wall Street Journal. Again, that's based on 7.5%. It's over 15%. So on average, per household, on average, is paying over $500 additional dollars per month now because of inflation. Not $250, $500. And nobody really can argue that, because every time you go to the pump, every time you make out that rent check, every time you pay your insurance, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you buy a pound of hamburger to a pound of steak, you are seeing double-digit increases, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into what happened today in these markets. Dow Jones at one point in the latter half of the day was down 667 points. It closed down 526 points, and I'm shocked it didn't close down more. But again, we know that all this is rigged. But while I'm watching this take place on the television today, I saw endless cheerleading by these analysts and these economists, just cheerleading these markets and this economy. It was really, really almost embarrassing how they're just out there trying to sell the public to buy homes, to buy more stocks, to buy into Ponzi schemes, doing everything they could to keep this market held together today. But some interesting information or news came out today, which really slammed the markets, and it was talk of an emergency rate hike. And this is where the markets really, really turned and started plummeting pretty quickly and never recovered. But I made some notes here on just some of the inflation that we're seeing right now. Food prices up 7.4%, used car prices up 40%. They interviewed one of the owners, I believe, of Dan and John Wings. I think it's on the East Coast. And they were saying you can buy a party pack of wings, 50 wings, they call it the party pack. They used to pay $65 for this. Now they're paying $99.99, so $100. Also, they're talking 55% of people surveyed predicts 6 rate hikes in 2022. Also, I was watching Fox Business today, and they had a real estate agent on who's on one of these flipping shows out of Southern California. And they were asking him, of course, what's going to happen to real estate this year? Is it going to continue to go up? And are prices going to go up? And are we going to see more buyers? And all this guy could do is just grin and smile and just say, well, there's a shortage of inventory, and we're flipping houses hand over fist and making money and just sitting there with that little smirk and that little smile as he knows that we're in a massive bubble and that he is selling homes in a bubble massively overpriced, but that's because there's just limited inventory. Well, start releasing all these homes that are in this moratorium negotiation. Start releasing these homes and start getting these homes on the market. Stop with the rent moratorium and start letting these landlords take back these properties and get these properties on the market and sell these properties. Again, everything's so manipulated, but it's so irritating to watch one of these real estate agents with that stupid smirk. And I can't wait till these people have that smirk wiped right off their face when this market collapses. They know exactly what is going on, but they cannot admit it because they want to just keep fueling this fire and telling you that things are going to go up forever. And on Fox Business today, all the cheerleaders out, even the real estate agents telling you and I that, real estate's just going to go up forever. If you believe that, you believe in the Easter Bunny. There was another interview I watched today, and this guest, I don't know if he was just an economist or CEO. I didn't even catch his name, but he said, don't be in a hurry to raise rates. Has this gentleman not seen the state of affairs that we're in right now? Has he not seen what's happening in the economy? Does he not realize that most people are in a recession right now, let alone many people living in a depression? Take a look around at what's going on. These people are either lying or they just don't leave their gated mansions. We got more bad news today. The Fed's Jim Bullard says he wants rates raised a full percentage point by July. And the markets didn't like that either. What was interesting was, and this is when you know it's getting bad, when they have Peter Schiff on Fox Business, the only person today that was not cheerleading what is happening. Peter Schiff says inflation is going to get a lot worse. And he said today also, the real inflation, ladies and gentlemen, is over 15%. Even if they raise 1 or 2%, they're accommodating these markets. The only way to put out the fire is to raise rates above the inflation rate, he says. They are pouring gasoline on this fire. And I totally believe that. So if we're take their numbers, 7.5%, and we raise rates a whole 2% this year, that's a difference of 5.5%. But we, again, know that the real rate is over 15%. This is a spit in the swimming pool. And another reason why we better own real things, especially assets like gold, because this inflation is not going away. They're already telling us the supply chain disruptions easing up, that that they're seeing more food at the grocery store. They're already they're doing everything they can right now to try and ease up the pressure that they know that's going to be coming on these markets. No doubt the economy is in very, very big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Peter goes on to say, if they fight inflation, we have big trouble. They're pretending to fight inflation when they can't. So again, if they raise 1 or 2%, they're just pretending. This is going to do absolutely nothing. What it will do is it is probably going to disturb the markets. The cost of borrowing money is going to go up. The 1% will not be affected at all. But what it will do is it is going to hurt the middle class and the poor. They interviewed Larry Shover. I believe he's a Capital CEO alongside Peter Schiff. And he says that he blames inflation on the health crisis. Not all the money printing. No, he blames it on the health crisis. And doesn't think that we're in dire straits like Peter Schiff believes. Peter says that they need to raise rates right now, literally right now. And maybe we may see an emergency rate hike tomorrow. They're saying there's a 30% chance that we could see an emergency rate hike tomorrow. What do you think? Comment down below. Is there any possibility that we could see a rate hike tomorrow? I don't know. Or will they wait till March? I read a comment, I think it was today actually, down below, And somebody said, no way, they can't raise interest rates, JB. We'll go right into a recession. There's no way they can do it. Maybe they can do it one time, maybe. How many people said they would never raise rates once? And now this person's saying, well, they can't, but maybe they'll do it one time. No, they're going to do it more than one time. These people who believe that the Fed will do nothing, that the Fed has their best interests at heart, that the Fed's going to protect them, that the Fed is going to protect these markets, which they've been doing for a very, very long time. What if they're wrong? What if the Fed says, hey, we're going to have to let this thing go? We're going to have to let this thing crash. It's very, very possible, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know the answer, but I do know that we are going to see rate hikes. How many rate hikes? I think we'll see 4. How high will they go? I don't know. I don't know. How long will they last? I don't know. But we're going to see disruption taking place. Again, Peter says they need to raise rates right now. Printing money, ladies and gentlemen, created the inflation. And this gentleman, Larry Shover, just can't admit that. Peter goes on to say on this interview today on Fox Business, we aren't ending inflation. We are just getting started. Are you prepared, ladies and gentlemen? I believe Peter's 100% right. I believe this is just getting started. He says we couldn't handle 2.5% in 2018. Most of you remember that. Now the economy is much worse and the debt is much, much worse. Larry Shover ended pretty much by saying this. Well, the good news is hotel prices are down. So doesn't that make all of us feel better that you can get a hotel room for a little less? So I guess that means the economy is recovering and bouncing back. I'll take what Peter Schiff said because I think he's 100% right. I think he's going to be 100% right. People like Larry Shover, he's out there just cheerleading this economy, this fake economy and these fake markets. Also, Peter said this, and this makes so much sense. Rent isn't up 4%. It's up 3 or 4 times. The CPI is much higher than they are telling you and I, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to do absolutely nothing to stop it. A couple quick articles. This one on CNBC, 10-year Treasury yield tops 2% for the first time since 2019. Currently, it's sitting at 2.04%. What does this mean? It means it's going to cost more money to use the credit card. It's going to cost more money to buy a car if you finance it. It's going to cost more money if you finance a house. You need to apply for a mortgage. Mortgage rates are going to go up. The cost to service the national debt going to go up. It's all going up, ladies and gentlemen. All going up, and it's going to affect mainly the average consumer, the middle class, and the poor. Market Watch today, high inflation has jacked up the cost of food, gas, cars, and rent, and there's little relief in sight. Where's the good news? A lot of people write me, not a lot, but a few, and say, I need to talk about the great news, the good news. Well, please share the good news with all of us. Where is it? Inflation has jacked up the cost of food, gas, cars, and rent. Don't forget college tuition, medical insurance, your taxes are going up. Everything is going up, ladies and gentlemen, while people are making less money, while there's less wealth and less opportunity out there for the average person. So please, if you have great economic news, please share it with us. We could use it. But here's some good news for everybody. 31 million Americans to bet on Super Bowl, gambling group estimates. So while people are going broke, while their pensions are running out of money, while Social Security is running out of money and telling you in 2034 you're going to get a 20% haircut, people are out gambling. And now we have record numbers of people going to Disneyland. Isn't this great? So we are watching this economy unfold right before our very eyes. I've never seen things so bad. And yet people are tossing money at football games. And there's people out there that just say, JB, don't criticize football. Give us 2 hours of just, something to take our minds and ease our minds from this economic, bad news. I don't like what the NFL has stood for. I don't like how they treated their fans. I don't like what they believe in. And I'll be very clear about that. I don't think you're a bad person for watching football, but I'm not supporting organizations or corporations or industries that are going to use that money to use it against me, that insult me, insult my intelligence, insult my beliefs, and really insult my country. And let's not forget too, look, I'm a person, not perfect, I'm no angel, but I do believe in God, and I thank God for everything I have. And I do believe that we're in the midst of a spiritual war now. We're seeing good versus evil, and let me tell you, there's a lot more evil out there. But every year it seems, whether you're watching something coming out of Hollywood, one of these big music events, or you're watching the NFL, it always seems that, especially during these halftime shows, there's always some kind of satanic ritual, some kind of seance, some kind of satanic message at these halftime shows. So as a person who believes in God, I'm just not going to support this organization with my time nor my money. And I'm just not going to pollute my mind or my spirit with that kind of message and what they stand for, because to me it's satanic. So I'm out. I will never support them again. I think they owe the American people an apology. But look, people are going to watch that. They're going to go to Disneyland, and God bless these people. But this is why so many people are going to get absolutely annihilated when reality hits. And if you cannot see reality right now, if you don't see the warning signs, the canary in the coal mine is dead. And there's a lot of dead canaries in the coal mine right now, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, a lot of people are just ignoring them. We really need to be paying attention to what's going on. And that's why I say go back to a couple of videos back where we were out feeding the homeless, feeding the dogs out here in Southern California in the middle of the desert, and take a look at what's happening, how people are being forgotten, how they're just being left to just deal with all this on their own with no help, no financial help. Here in California, they got the biggest bailout for this health crisis, all this federal money, and they're not helping the people that need it. People worried about the environment. Well, go out there and take a look at the environment, the amount of trash, the illegal dumping that's going on. Nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything about it. It's insulting. It's pathetic. It's repulsive that nothing's being done and that our politicians just ignore the pain and suffering that people are going through and not doing anything about it and not putting the money where it needs to be. There's not a money issue here. There's a spending issue. It's being spent in the wrong places. Last article, here's how inflation is hitting everything you buy for your home. Again, people are buying homes, but they forget about insurance, the upkeep, they forget about the taxes, they forget about having to put furniture in that home. Household furnishing prices rose 1.6% in January, month over month, and we're up 9.3% year over year. Yes, a home requires furnishings. You need a bed, you need chairs, you need a table, you need lamps, and they cost money and they're going up. Furniture and bedding up 17% year over year. Bedroom furniture up 13.7% year over year. Living room, kitchen, dining room furniture up 19.9% year over year. Appliances up 8.5% year over year. Who is able to do this at this point? We see that 47 million people quit their jobs last year. Not everyone went and got a better job. We see that wages, real wages, are going down. Taxes are going up. Inflation eating up wages. It's eating up savings. People can't find 40-hour work weeks. People can't find jobs with benefits. Many of these jobs are in service, in the service sector, leisure hospitality. They pay low wages, minimum wage. And now people are having to take a career in leisure and hospitality, a career in the fast food industry. What's going to happen with all this commercial real estate that's sitting vacant that nobody's going to take? Vacant office buildings, vacant medical centers, vacant restaurants, vacant retailers. What's going to happen? Who owns it? How's that money ever going to be paid back? And what's going to happen when people begin to realize that they couldn't afford these homes? And as inflation continues to eat up that paycheck, and the average cost of living per household now is really going up $500 a month, you think that that's not going to make a difference every month they have to make that mortgage payment? Something's got to give, ladies and gentlemen. Something is going to break. And when it does, we are going to see a flood of homes on the market, a flood of automobiles on the market, a flood of even more commercial real estate, more malls, more mega malls. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're really paying attention to what is happening, because this is getting very, very dangerous. More market volatility. We're going to see what these rate hikes do. I don't think this is going to be very, very positive for the markets. When this Fed begins to tighten up this balance sheet, when they begin to stop buying bonds and treasuries, who's going to buy it? What happens? We're heading to some real serious times, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare.